Hello, Facebook. I be bored. And I be watching lives, nigga, that niggas be like talking about bullshit and be like having 400 motherfucking goddamn viewers. And that's the thing about it is we really like tragedy more than we like actual information. I don't want to motherfucking be informed. I don't want to hear anything that's gonna motherfucking actually challenge my world perception. I want to hear things that make me more comfortable about my world perception, more comfortable about being who I think I am. So therefore, people I can make a fool of or drama is more interesting to me than information. That's just the mind state of the majority of us. This is a psychological, you know what I'm saying? What is it? Analysis? That's a psychological analysis. It's not a judgment. It's just taking the information that's available at face value. And if there's something different, then okay, that's fine. Um, it's the fucking 21st. I'm like, goddamn, I thought it was a motherfucking goddamn 19 still. I missed Malcolm's birthday. Like, what? That was Saturday? I think I was out. So I didn't post a lot of stuff because I generally will post all day on Malcolm's birthday, and it was a Saturday. But I think I was out for the not majority of the day because we went out late. Oh well, maybe I was just high. But the idea of freedom is far more important to me than employment. Now, in order to truly be free, you need to motherfucking have access to capital. So therefore, you got to have your hustle on. I've done 9 to 5s. You know what I'm saying? I've done $20 an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like 9 to 5, 20 plus an hour, 9 to 5. And that's just it. Doesn't really it. One is the fact that because if I'm making $20 plus an hour, I'm doing construction, and that means I got to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, get to where the fuck I'm going, deal with whoever the fuck I got to deal with. And I love construction. Don't get me fucked up. It's like my favorite thing to do. I love construction more than I love retail, just because of the freedom that fucking goddamn construction gives you in relationship to other fucking what I'm saying other career opportunities or what I'm saying job opportunities. But I really don't. If I can't make my own job, I don't. I'm a nigga that got to make his own job. And again, I'm bored. I don't have any weed, so you know what I'm saying. I smoked it all up earlier this morning, and just kind of like let the day go by. And then I decided I was gonna go grocery shopping and spend the money that I was gonna spend on weed on groceries because I realized I didn't have no food in the house and that food is more important than fucking weed. So I went to go buy some food, and we got a couple of deposits coming in tomorrow. So I guess I could go a day without weed. You know what I'm saying? But I do realize that I'm in this place of anxiety. This I'm dealing with anxiety this particular period of time, and it's going to be a process in order to recover these repressed memories, ideas, and thoughts. So I have to deal with the anxiety, and weed makes it easy to deal with the anxiety because it's also one of the ways I deal with anxiety is motherfucking marijuana. But I'm seeking the anxiety free life. So I'm just like, fuck it. Let's just me and anxiety, nigga. I'm just gonna buckle up and deal with the anxiety until it doesn't just subside. You know what I'm saying? And I was reading one of these psychological books that I have, where this I think it was a psychology of history, where panic attacks or anxiety attacks come on. And this guy was talking about an anxiety attack while he was just sitting having a great day and a great night, and he was drinking and shit and sitting by the fire, and all of a sudden an anxiety attack took him over. And I think he was a psychologist or psychiatrist. And he couldn't move for like hours, just subdued by the anxiety. And I realized that that's what anxiety does is debilitating. It literally keeps you from. And I mean, how many movies? And this is what the guy talks about too. He's like, how many movies have you not watched? How many experiences have you not had because the experiences in some way or form or fashion are attached to anxiety? So you can't you can't enjoy these experiences because there's a memory or an emotion attached to them that you've repressed. So if you engage in it, it brings up these repressed memories and therefore the onslaught of fucking, what's that shit called? Anxiety. So in order to deal with have actually live An anxiety-free life. This YouTube is pissing me the fuck off right now. In order to have an anxiety-free life, you have to actually really get past your repressed emotions, thoughts, so forth. Past your repression. Got to get past that. So, and earlier when I was talking about, oh yeah, I'm no longer on forgive, and it's been a while. I mean, for a minute that I've been on, I'm not on, you know what I'm saying, forgive and forget anymore. I'm on, you know what I'm saying, remember recovery. But I do understand that part of recovery is forgiveness. It's not forgetting, but it's forgiveness, and that forgiveness is a certain detachment from the actions. It's again taking responsibility is really, so that should be actually the real thing. True forgiveness is taking responsibility. Is that you can no longer delegate responsibility to those that are at fault for your particular psychological or whatever condition, but that you are responsible, and that you are relinquishing responsibility when you hold them at fault for your condition. And that's some metaphysical shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I I'm not trying to offend, and I'm not trying not to offend. But I'm like, if I offend you, I offend you. If I don't offend you, I don't offend you. What I'm trying to do is what I'm doing is being authentic. Chastity did that, said that too. You can't be good, you can't be, got to be authentic. And in actuality, I can't be good. I can't be good, and I don't seek to be evil. All I do is to seek to be authentic, and my authenticity is going to be perceived by some as negative and some as positive. So the actuality is, and that's that conflict of self too, where you're trying to be good enough for everybody else when in actuality you can't please everybody. So why even attempt to please everybody but yourself? And you can only please yourself by being authentic to yourself, being your authentic self. That's the only thing that's going to truly find happiness in, is being your authentic self. So you really cannot be good. You can only be authentic, because if the energy you put into being good is gonna be energy inefficiently spent, because someone is not gonna like you. So you're not gonna be good enough for everybody. The only person that you can be good enough is for self. And I be going off topic or whatever. Fuck yeah, I be thinking shit. So at the end of the day, yeah. Oh, that's where I was. At the end of the day, I'm just being honest as I can in relationship to how I perceive reality. And that's where I'm at right now, is this idea that I want to live an authentic life. I want to live an honest life. I don't want to live a life of, of lies, of distortion. I don't want to live that life. I want to live a life. And I came to that concept, that reality at like 21. But when I was 21, I didn't understand what living an authentic life or what truth was. I had a perception of what a lie was, and didn't even realize that I was living a lie at the particular period of time, and didn't even know what constituted that lie. And now I'm here at 48, some 30 some odd years later, you know what I'm saying, or 20 some odd years later, 27 years odd later, and realizing, oh, this authenticity I seek is not even, can't be found locally. It's got to be found non-locally. It's and then some other issues that I find out as a result of it. You know what I'm saying? That and I want to kind of like get onto the issue with my own level of forgiveness with my mother. It She has no one is born a good parent. You know what I'm saying? And that's not where I fault my mother at. The person I call my mother, Carol. That's not where I fault her at. I don't fault her at her lack of ability or inability to be a good parent, because everybody can't be a good parent. My issue with my mother, with Carol, is her deliberate in her deliberate intent in being a bad parent. That's my problem. That she went above and beyond her duty to be a bad parent. And that's my issue with, I forgive her in relationship to recovery, not in relationship to the way in which we think of forgiveness in relationship to her actions, as if I condone her actions. I don't condone her actions at all. I don't condone her treatment of me. I don't condone her abuse of me. I don't condone the way in which she deflects her abuse of me. There's no tolerance for that. What I do is I accept responsibility for, or anybody who helped her, anybody who was involved in it, whatever excuses you want to use for being one of Carol's flying monkeys. You know what I'm saying? That's what excuse you use. You know what I'm saying? Because if it hadn't been a psychological abuse, if it had been a physical abuse, a lot of people wouldn't have acted the same way they acted. You know what I'm saying? Or even try. I mean, dude, could you imagine trying to hook somebody back up with their fucking physical abuser or sexual abuser? Nobody would do that. But an emotional, psychological abuser, oh shit, let's get them back together. You know what I'm saying? Let's try to fucking mend those fences of the psych, so the psychological and emotional abuse can continue, because it's not as, you know what I'm saying, material as the sexual or physical abuse, even though both of those abuses stem from, you know, psychological and emotional abuse. Because if you're physically and sexually abusive, that means that you are also psychologically and emotionally abusive. And that's not to say that my mother stopped at being psychologically and emotionally abusive. She was, you know what I'm saying, physically abusive to the point that she could be physically abusive. When I became physically opposing, she stopped being physically abusive. Just like my sister. You know, my sister was physically abusive until the point that she could be physically abusive no more. So then she just resorted to being emotionally and psychologically abusive, which is what my sister does now, because I tower over her. Just like my mother. No longer it can be physically abusive, so she had to resort to emotional and psychological abuse. And I just, you know, and the idea of putting them out there is that they're narcissists. I could have had this conversation with neither my sister, my mother, or my aunt, or my brother. You know what I'm saying? Because of their narcissistic personality disorders. You know, there's no way in the world I could have a viable, fucking healthy conversation without them gaslighting within that conversation. And I'm gonna tell you, my aunt, not Penny. Penny is, and that's, you know, that also shows you that there's, because Penny doesn't have a narcissistic bone in her body. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Penny really is the empath of the family. You can see that Penny's the empath of the family because she's treated like the empath. Because they psychologically and emotionally abuse her as well. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and I don't want to put it out like that, but that's the real shit. If they see that as weaknesses, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm hurt, but I'm not hurt. You know what I'm saying? I'm woke, and I hate using that term, but I'm woke to my family right now, and that is a disturbing moment. That is a lot of anxiety that I have held a lot of my intuition back, repressed it, in order to, you know what I'm saying, maintain this image, this familiar image that wasn't real, you know. And I realize this. I see, you know what I'm saying, how Stephanie and Brian, like this moment where Brian tells me, you know, Alton, can you leave? You invited me over here, but you want me to leave so you can talk to your sister. And that both of them have led me to believe that there was some kind of connection between us over the years, only to emotionally abuse me, only to have, you know what I'm saying, some type of emotional baggage over me, or to emotionally blackmail me. But generally, Stephanie and Brian have teamed up against me throughout our lives, and I've just let it slide. You know, I see my nephew for what he is now. I mean, and it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to see family members for what they fucking are right now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is heartbreaking. And it's kind of like, I don't necessarily always get personal, but I'm on some personal shit right now. Like, hindsight is 2020, my nigga. And I, like, you know what I'm saying? I realize that I've been gaslit by my ex-wife, that my ex-wife was a fucking flying monkey for my mother, that my nephew was a flying monkey for his mother, and that his mother was a flying monkey for my mother. My brother's a flying monkey. You know what I'm saying? Some of my frenemies, my mom aligned herself with frenemies of mine, and they were flying monkeys. It makes sense. Certain relationships that my mother did not want me to motherfucking end, you know what I'm saying, with frenemies, they make sense now. Because those individuals were fucking flying monkeys for my mother. And you know who you are. You know who the flying monkeys were. Some of them flying monkeys are still on my motherfucking Facebook right now. And it's like, that's crazy, dude. That's some real crazy ass shit. That y'all was sitting there a lot, helping and claiming to be my friend, helping my mother psychologically and emotionally abuse me. And some of my fucking so-called closest friends